Denise, did you have to get, I know you couldn't get your name back. What about your tattoo?
Well, that I covered. I just actually had that done. Charlie is where the wings are.
Yeah.
And Kat Von D, who's on LA Inc., covered my tattoo for me.
Okay.
So I
You're going to get it all together? You're going to try and get it off?
Oh no, I covered it. That's
Yeah,
like,
you can't even tell. It's just easy. You know, we know that you've obviously had a rough year. You know, going through the divorce. Couple of years, actually. A couple of years. 3. With the custody battle. You lost your mom.
No, it's been very, very difficult.
And in watching the show, your dad's moved in with you, and you guys say that you've been helping each other pick up the pieces. And I thought that there were some beautiful moments in the show where you see how you guys are really doing that for one another. Is this a better time right now for you? How's it going lately?
I would say that it's a calmer time. I went through the most difficult divorce and custody battle. Publicly, which made it 10 times harder. And then on top of it, I lost my mother to cancer. She was dying during that time, and she passed away right before Christmas. So that is... I mean, I thought my divorce was hard, but then to deal with that is just,
What a blessing to have your dad. He seems like an incredible guy.
He's amazing. We're so close. He was married to my mom for 37 years, and they were really married, happily married ladies.
We didn't say it didn't exist. We just said, you know, as you can probably attest to, there might be a better way to go at it.
Well, yeah, you know what? I'm not one to.
There was a point where it seemed like you and Charlie were going to reconcile, and then you actually ended up filing for divorce. Was there like one thing that broke the camel's back, like the one straw?
I filed for divorce actually when I was 6 months pregnant with Lola, and then after I had her, I was very vulnerable. I had 2 babies, and I just wanted to know that I did everything I could to make the marriage and the family unit work. I had a lot of guilt splitting up our family. I didn't come from a family of divorce, but there's a lot the public doesn't know. I've never publicly said what happened. I filed a court document, which I got a lot of flack for that, people saying I aired our dirty laundry and this and that, but at that point, I'm a mom who was protecting my children, and I didn't know what was going to be public, what's going to be sealed. That I have no control over. I was a mom protecting my children, and then it has turned into what it's turned into, and it's devastating.
Were you really surprised by Charlie Sheen's behavior, though? I mean, he did have a history before you married him.
He had a history, and that's exactly what I thought it was in the past.
Oh, so you thought he would change when he got married?
He was.
Oh, yeah.
No, he was. That wasn't the person I met.
I know, but a lot of women think that the guy is going to change, and
but he didn't need to be changed when I married him, and if he was that way, obviously I wouldn't have married him. But when I met Charlie, he truly was. In my eyes, the man I wanted to have a life with and form a life with. I was ignorant to a lot of different things in his past, but I believe everyone deserves a second chance. I didn't know that person. And then as the marriage went on, things came out, and I filed for divorce.
Yeah. What about the show? Because I know Charlie, in terms of the courts, he was against you doing the show, thinking it was, you know, exploiting the girls, like this wasn't a good idea. How did you finally make a convincing argument that this was something that should be done?
You know, it's so hard to talk about this I publicly, but because he's made a point of being public with our situation so much, the fact of the matter is when I went to him, I needed a waiver for e-television, so they knew that both parents consent to it. Charlie had no problem. He signed the waiver, and then he changed his mind, and he wanted me to agree to custody changes that he wanted, and one has nothing to do with the other. I wasn't going to sacrifice the protection I had in place for the show, so I asked the judge, and everything's a battle, and I hope that one day he and I can get to a place where we can co-parent together. This is not a healthy situation for my kids.
Do you feel like you did the show to clear things up? You know, because I think there are a lot, you know, we see a lot of these shows coming out, the cameras are now, you're inviting the cameras in. Is it to kind of take control back because the media will only show one side?
I've been portrayed so negatively in the press, and it's been awful, and you know, it's a chance for me, one, to work at home. I'm a single mom raising 2 little girls, and movies shoot on location a lot of times, so I get to be home. I don't want someone else raising my kids. They come first before any job. So people can say what they want, but I get to work at home and raise my children. And it was also a chance. I've had every negative thing you could possibly imagine written about me.
About one of those, because we all saw that picture. You were with Richie Sambora, and so I think a lot of the public thought that Richie was still with Heather Locklear, and that you took him away.
Yes, my image changed overnight off of one picture.
Was there any truth to that?
No, I was faithful with my marriage. Richie was faithful, and the fact of the matter is that Heather and I, our friendship dissolved after my marriage ended. I met Heather through Charlie, and the four of us were friends. And Richie and I, we were both going through a divorce. Heather had filed for a divorce before Richie and I got together.
Okay.
She had moved on with someone else as well before we got together, and he and I were friends still. And then.
So you didn't steal him from
I
Heather,
did not
and it was
steal.
everybody was.
I'm
already
going on
part
record.
of
I did not steal Richie Sambora from Heather Locklear. They were on their way to divorce. I understand where people may think differently, and I take responsibility for the timing of it. But he's a great guy, and he's an amazing father, and I don't regret it.
I cannot get past the fact that if you want to protect your children, as you say, you do, your mom, and you want to keep everything private, why you would take a reality show? Is it money? Do you need the dough?
I didn't say at this point to keep everything private. I've had everything out there.
Right.
Even if I stay quiet,
but your girls
things
haven't
are
been out there, and suddenly now are they going to
Have
be
you
exposed?
seen the first episode?
They're in their cooking.
You saw the first episode?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see how much they were in the show?
Yeah, but they were there.
They were.
Yeah, so
And
I'm saying, these are little kids. These are little kids, and so if you want to keep them private and keep your life private, do you not think this is a little extreme to open it up?
In the situation with the show is they are in it very minimal, and the thing is, I've been singled out. There hasn't been one reality show with a family where there are no kids. There's John and Kate +8. There's Kamora Lee Simmons. There's the Kardashian. There's every reality show has children in it, and mine are very minimal.
This is true, but you're going through this huge thing, and I just wonder if the timing might not be as great.
For me, the timing's good. I've been approached the last few years. I've had a horrible last 3 years. I don't know if anyone's lost a mother to cancer. I watched my mom die. So my mom really wanted me to do the show. She was wanting the public to see who I really am. My kids are in it very little. They're very sweet, and they're not child actors. I'm not forcing them to do anything. If they said, you know what, Mom, I can't stand all these people here, I'd say, then that's done. They're my first priority.
It's funny, Charlie Sheen is in a hit show, and he's like Teflon. He's unscathed by this, and yet you have the bad reputation. How is that? Is it because he's a guy?
I think that people believe what they hear and read, and he released a statement this morning about me, and it's, I publicly I'm not out to trash my ex-husband. That doesn't help anyone.
No, especially not your kids.
No, and I've had a court document that I filed as a mom to protect my kids that was made public.
Yeah.
But I think we should all move on.
So what's his gripe? What's Charlie's gripe?
Have him on the show and ask him. It's never
Come on the
ending.
show. We want to see you.
We'll talk to him. I'm going to thank you for
here.
being really honest, and you have two adorable girls.
Thank
They
you.
really are, and we hope that your life gets less complicated in the future. We do, Denise.
Thank you.
Best wishes. Denise Richards, It's Complicated, premieres May 26th on E! We'll be right back with Kermit the Frog and Fuzzy Bear.